Hi everybody, it's Mr. Gray here. We had another great week of school. We're really getting up and running at this point, so we're starting to add on all the different subjects. And that's really what I'm going to talk about for next week. Remember, there's no school on Monday, September 6th. On September 10th, there's a PTA event that is outdoor movie night. I'm sure you've gotten some information from the school about that. But next week, we're going to be kind of have like a full academic schedule for those 4 days. So in Reader's Workshop, we kind of started this week, and next week we're going to continue some of the work we did this week. So that includes building our reading stamina, where kids are going to be able to sit and read for longer periods of time. During that time, I'll spend time conferencing with students. So I'll kind of individually talk to them about different topics that we've been talking about for reading strategies. So this week it was a lot about checking to make sure the book you're reading is a good fit for you. Do you understand it? Can you read it smoothly? Can you read it with expression? Do you know what's going on? That kind of thing. Next week, the kids are going to be setting some reading goals and then keeping their own reading log in class to kind of see if they're reaching those goals and maybe even set some new goals. We're also going to talk about some strategies for checking for understanding, making sure the kids can figure out whether or not they understand it, and also doing some prediction next week, which is a great strategy for all kinds of reading. In Writer's Workshop, we're going to be continuing what we just started this week, which was crafting true problem stories. So we're doing a couple things. This last week, we were really working on increasing our writing stamina, and the kids were writing about all sorts of different things that had easy topics to come up with. But next week, before we get into the kids actually writing their problem stories, they're going to have to brainstorm some ideas. So we're going to be looking at people and places that matter to them. So we're going to be brainstorming those things so we can actually get into writing the stories that have a problem in them. In addition, we're going to be reading some stories out loud that have problems and solutions so the kids can see how problems and solutions look in stories, and also how authors have a way for characters to overcome the problem to get to the solution. Not that there's just a problem and magically it works out. Something has to happen to bridge from the problem to the solution. In math, we're continuing our review of addition strategies next week. This week, we worked on addition strategies up to 100. These are all problems that the kids definitely know how to solve, but we're really checking the flexibility in their thinking and using some different strategies to do that so that we can use those later. And coming from 6th grade, I know that being able to really understand and break apart numbers and see them on number lines in addition to the standard algorithm are really helpful strategies for tackling different kinds of problems. Next week, we're going to jump up to addition within 1,000, which adds some other little quirks, because you can add something that has like 3 digits and 2 digits, and sometimes that has some interesting things that happen. So we're going to review those addition strategies up to 1,000 next week, and then on Friday we'll have a quiz just practicing. Can you show more than one strategy of your choosing, and also can you actually add the numbers? In social studies, we're going to get started with the curriculum. The first unit is about the geography of California. We're going to get started a little bit before that, talking about some different facts about California to get the kids hopefully a little bit excited about what they're going to read. And we're going to talk about just the fact that you have to read a nonfiction text, a textbook, differently than you would a fiction book they're reading. So we're going to talk about some different nonfiction reading strategies, sharing the things that they learned and thought were really interesting from different pages. And then we'll actually get into California geography probably next week, but for sure the week after. And then finally, in science, we're also going to start that. And again, it's a little bit of like a pre-unit. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of just think about how scientists work and how they discuss things. We're going to look at some different kinds of materials and kind of analyze their characteristics. And then the kids are going to make their own plan to make an umbrella for a pet. Either a pet they have or like a different kind of animal they'd be interested in. So that's kind of the breakdown of next week. As always, email me with questions, concerns, anything like that. Check the updates page to see what we're working on, and continue to have great discussions with your kids about what they're reading and what's happening at school to support them. Hope everyone has a great long weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.